This is Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Chicano theater, Teatro Chicano in 1974. You may ask, why am I interested in Chicano theater? I went to a certain school, San Jose High School, which had a lot of individuals who participated in Chicano theater and in politics, Chicano activism during the late 60s, early 70s. One of my classmates was Diane Rodriguez. She was a member of Teatro Campesino and eventually Teatro Urbano, and then went on to LA to work with other groups, diverse groups in the area of theater. Eventually she was asked by President Obama to participate in a certain group that in the arts, okay? Also going to school with me was Socorro Valdez of the Valdez family. Her brothers included Daniel Valdez and Luis Valdez. Luis Valdez is one of the founders of Teatro Campesino, and he's famous for the movie La Bamba and for plays including Zoot Suit and La Carpa de los Rascuachis, etc., etc. Again, he's pretty much the preeminent individual involved in Chicano theater. And they lived only like a block and a half from my high school, San Jose High School. And of course, he's a graduate of San Jose State University. So I had quite a few individuals. These aren't the only individuals I knew that were participated in theater and that had family that went on to, to work in Hollywood, etc., etc. Okay. So I had this exposure to Chicanos in theater at an early age in the late 60s. In fact, Diane Rodriguez was the first person I knew that used the word Chicano, and that was in the mid to late 60s, okay? Eventually, I got summer of 1970. My first job out of high school was working at the Chicano Film Institute, where I worked with Teo Morales, Benny Barra, Irene Madrid, and other individuals involved in the Chicano community. We had a little gallery there, a dark room, and an office space, okay? So I shot film for them, and I also took photographs of the various Chicano activists in our community. So I got a lot of exposure. And once I started school at San Jose State University, I immediately had an exhibition, and I had contact with a lot of individuals in Chicano theater and Chicano activism. I think it was in 1971 that I bought my Hasselblad, which was a very nice camera, Hasselblad 500C, with an 80mm f2.8 lens, a very nice camera indeed. You may ask, why did I buy a Hasselblad, such a medium format camera? Well, I bought it because I was introduced to the Hasselblad in high school by one of my instructors, my art instructor, Ronald Root. Okay, he had a Hasselblad. He would let me borrow it to take pictures for the yearbook, for the newspaper, and for my own use in the arts. Okay, my photography instructor at San Jose High School was Prospero Anaya, and he introduced me to cameras like Nikon, Canon, Mamiya, Rollei, and 4x5 cameras, and of course mixing chemicals for the darkroom and working in the darkroom. Okay, so I had a good exposure to the photographic arts in high school before I even entered college to get my degree in journalism with a photojournalism emphasis. So while at San Jose State, of course, I met a lot of people involved in the Chicano arts, and of course, I got invited to participate in various activities, designing posters, designing flyers, writing articles, and of course, taking photographs and shooting film at the time. Back in, I think it was 1972-73, I was doing my internship at a local newspaper, and Adrian Vargas was being interviewed, and he asked me to participate in a new group that he was going to start called El Centro Cultural de la Gente. El Centro Cultural de la Gente was going to be a cultural center in downtown San Jose, essentially a storefront that during the redevelopment of downtown San Jose. At that time, San Jose was tearing down a bunch of older buildings and building these horrific skyscrapers. They were basically urban development, okay? So they had this old building here in downtown San Jose, which would eventually become they tore that down, and it's now the federal building on San Carlos and First Street. And so at that time, we had our, arts organization there, El Centro Cultural de la Gente. And there were a lot of arts organizations at the time being, starting from grassroots efforts in Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, San Diego, San Francisco, Fresno, San Antonio, all over the United States, and very nice venues for Chicanos to just to gravitate towards and share common ideas regarding the arts and also politics. So I participated in El Centro Cultural de la Gente, and I became their treasurer, and I had a great time working at El Centro Cultural de la Gente. Of course, I had a camera. That's the key part. I had a camera, and I took a lot of photographs of the activities, be they their travels to like Chico, LA, and different locations, Fresno, or going to El Quinto Festival de los Teatros Chicanos in Mexico City. El Centro Cultural de la Gente was very much involved in the event as part of their tenaz and different organizations that they participated in, and we created the poster. El Centro Cultural de la Gente created the poster for the Quinto Festival, and we were very, Adrian Vargas especially, was very dynamic in the efforts to produce this event, which I enjoyed tremendously. So I'll have some photographs of that in this short video. If you have any questions about these photographs, feel free to contact me. A lot of these individuals have passed, but some of them are still alive and doing well, and I'm here for at least another couple of years, I hope. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can contact me by going to my website, jmmgarza.com. There you can find my contact information. There's a contact page, and also there's my email, and of course my phone number for all you, dedicated folks. You can give me a call. So I have quite a few photographs. These photographs are just samples from my, archive, which is called Imágenes Chicano. I have a lot of Kodachrome slides, thousands of them, and black and white photographs taken with my Hasselblad and also with my Nikon F2. Okay, so I have a lot of photographs, and this is just a sampling of the photographs. And again, this is part of my Imágenes Chicano archive. Okay. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact me. Let's get started with the photographs. I hope you like them. If you have any, again, comments, feel free to contact me. I don't remember everybody's name in this group shot. I can see there Rudy Spider Sanchez, Sonny Garcia, Adrian Vargas, and then there's me. And right next to me with the guitar is Arcadilly. Then there's Mary Jane Solis. And below me is Lisa Coleman and Ed Robledo. Quite an interesting group. El Centro Cultural de la Gente included an art exhibition space and also a theater space. And here's some of the folks gathered at an event at El Centro Cultural de la Gente. A lot of folks came to these events, including individuals from the Native community. They were always welcome and participated and gave their take on the politics of the day. To the left, you see Sonny Garcia and the Assembled, talking about surrogaphy at our surrogaphy studio. Antonio Perales Fierro in the middle, and to the left is Deborah Rodriguez. They're looking at some of Antonio Perales Fierro's serigraphs. Here's Sonny Garcia poses for me next to a wall that's about to be painted before the exhibition, so we can have a nice clean space. Jorge Vargas, Mario Matallana are being interviewed by Rigo Chacon. They started Teatro de Colombia in Bogota, and they've traveled all over the world. These are famous folks, and they started a group here in San Jose at a church called Teatro Quetzal. So they sort of trained a lot of local folks. At El Centro Cultural de la Gente are Frank and Elizabeth Rodriguez, the parents of Lizzie, Francisco, Pancho, and Deborah. You never knew who was going to attend Centro Cultural de la Gente event. Here is Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez, the director of the Crusade for Justice out of Denver, Colorado. In the audience, folks were ready to discuss subtle nuances of the Chicano movement and Chicano politics at the time and life in the United States of America. Giving a massage to Manuel Martinez is his wife, Connie, right there. And to the left is Daniel Valdez. This is a meeting at El Centro Cultural de la Gente of various theater groups. There's Luis Valdez. He's discussing, again, what's going on in the theater movement and planning probably the Quinto Festival de los Teatros Chicanos. There's Mario and Jorge performing at El Centro Cultural de la Gente. They were very dynamic and wonderful folks to hang out with. And of course, on TV was Marcos Eusebio Gutierrez on the Alma de Bronce show. Teatro was performing there. They are the members of El Centro Cultural de Gente and some of their friends. And they got on TV to just to play a guitar and sing some songs about the Chicano movement. It seemed like every Chicano I knew had a guitar, except for me, of course. I had a camera. At the time, Adrian Vargas was the director of El Centro Cultural de la Gente and also Teatro de la Gente. Here he is putting makeup on before a performance during Semana Chicana at San Jose State University. Here's some other members of Teatro de la Gente putting on makeup. Elisa is in the back. On stage during Semana Chicana are Manuel Martinez to the left and Adrian Vargas to the right. Also performing at Semana Chicana at San Jose State University was Teatro Campesino and their play La Carpa de los Rascuachis. To the left is Felix Alvarez and Diane Rodriguez, who I went to high school with, and Lily Alvarez. This is one of my favorite Chicano plays. Again, Felix and Lily on stage. Coming all the way from Mexico City were Los Mascarones. I really enjoyed taking photographs of them and the other performers, especially under this excellent theater lighting. The members of Alma del Sol. From left to right, Clay Shanrock, his wife Luz. Then we see Enrique Castillo, then finally Ramiro Perez. Quite a few groups from Mexico crossed the border to perform in San Jose, including Grupo Triángulo. Here's some of the members. They dressed very interestingly for performances. They were definitely influenced by European comida de arte and other forms of performance. I really like this photograph with the skull outstretched and the individual with the very large glasses. I think this performance is in Chico, California. That's Manuel Martinez, his wife Connie, Juanita Vargas, and Adrian Vargas. Here's Adrian Vargas playing the guitar with Sal Candelaria during a demonstration against Coors Beer in downtown San Jose. From left to right, Felipe Rodriguez, Deborah Rodriguez, and finally Pancho Rodriguez, performing in a backyard in San Jose, California. Again, these Latinos had guitars and they were ready to perform at a drop of a hat. Here we are at the Quinto Festival de los Teatros Chicanos. To the left is Elisa Coleman, in the back is Daniel del Solar, and up front to the right is Adrian Vargas. Adrian's family hailed from Mexico City, so he had a great time in Mexico City visiting family along with performing. I have quite a few photographs of El Quinto Festival de los Teatros Chicanos, some in color, and as you can see here, samples in black and white. Here we are performing in Teotihuacan. That was a lot of fun for the Chicanos, Latinos from all over Latin America, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from South to North America. It was fantastic. Here are members of San Jose's Teatro Quetzal, of course, Mario and Jorge, posing for me. They were very nice in front of the pyramids in Mexico. And finally, before I get talking again, in front of the camera, here's a group shot in Veracruz. Thanks for checking out my photographs. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to contact me. You can go to my website, jmmgarza.com, and there I have my contact page. I also have my email And for you highly motivated individuals, I have my phone number, and you can feel free to contact me at any time. I'm still vertical, I'm still alive, and at least for another few years, and I hope to do some more exhibitions and more publications and more posters and stuff like that, which I've done for a long time. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. From Fort Worth, Texas, eventually moving back to San Jose, California. Should I live so long? Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.